So, hi Cancer, my name is Chris and this is your beautiful reading for kind of end of February and March. And I'm doing the Celtic Cross for you and I'm just seeing what comes up. An unexpected offer from the universe. Okay. Something that your heart is inspired by. So what can you do? Not so much what your brain tells you, but listen to what your heart is telling you. Something unexpected. And you're not really into it. Well, the universe is basically offering this cup, and then they got the crossing energy. That's the Four of Cups here. The Page of Cups is offering you that unexpected emotional thing, right? And you're totally ignoring it because you are totally focused on something else. So right now, that's the center of your Celtic Cross, and we already got this message that you might ignore a blessing that is just there. Four of Cups energy is abundance, is many blessings actually, but you're kind of ignoring these blessings. There's the Lovers, two. Lovers energy at the foundation. The Moon card in the crown. Subconscious energy. There's maybe the reason why you're kind of ignoring that heart space energy that is coming in. Maybe you got a broken heart, right? There's the Three of Swords in the past energy. There's the Seven of Swords. Okay, so Swords energy surrounding you. You might be a little stuck in your head, right? You might be worried about toxic people in your surroundings. You might be worried about mindfuck energies in your surroundings. Why? Because in the past you got the Three of Swords. Somebody maybe broke your heart, maybe betrayed you, maybe abandoned you. And right now there is an opportunity maybe for friendship, maybe for something that is just so much in resonance with your heart. But your heart is kind of a little broken, right? So you kind of retreat to your headspace and ignore all the beauty that is in your heart. Although your heart is broken, there's so much joy, there's so much happiness. Yeah, that's your energy, right? Healing yourself. Subconscious energy with the Moon card. Healing this divide between your heart and your brain. That's what this is all about. Lovers at the foundation. Page of Cups here in the center. Yeah. Chariot, Three of Pentacles, and what else we got? There's the emphasis, right, on, you got the Page of Cups in the center, and then the outcome is the Knight of Cups. So you're taking this offer off, bottom of the deck, Justice, beautiful, that's what we like. So what I'm trying to tell you is don't worry too much, don't analyze too much. This is a time where you should definitively listen to your heart, even if your heart is aching. And sometimes if our heart is aching, sometimes if our heart still feels kind of broken, right? That's in the past here. We retreat into our little tower up here, right? And that is the brain. And we try to analyze everything. We try to find out what is safe. Maybe we are anticipating betrayal, you know, and we're not trusting people, and which is kind of not surprising, right? If somebody broke your heart, if somebody betrayed you, if you've been through narcissistic abuse, and during the last few years, I mean, pretty much the last 9 years, the narcissists were running amok, right? So they had their big time, but 2026 is a different energy. You should definitely check out the yearly reading, right? 2026 reading. I'm going to link this at the end of this video. What is very important is that you take care of your broken heart and heal it. Give yourself loving attention. And if there's nobody, if you're having a relationship already, if you're in a relationship, talk to your partner, right? You don't have to do this alone. If you're single, then by all means, love yourself, be kind to yourself, be yourself a friend, and don't be too pessimistic when it comes to other people. You're kind of expecting what you know, and what you know is, right? And then there is something coming along and pretty much telling you, remember joy, right? There is something unexpected that you love to do, that means a lot to you. This could be self-love. This could be something that you're doing. Take that and use it, bring it into the world, right? And I see you totally doing that. That's something your heart is connected to. And reopen your heart to the world. That's very important. And you're taking the cup and you're going. That's from the page to the Knight of Cups. That's kind of taking the cup. Even though if initially you think, oh, come on, I took cups and then my heart got broken, right? But if you're dwelling into this negative energy, it's not going to help you. So what you need to do, and that's the Two of Swords here, and that's what I always tell in all of my readings. Why? Because it's so freaking important. You just have to meditate, my friend, every day. Breath work. Right? 1 in, 2 out. That's when you have to release a lot of negative energy, when you've been through trauma or, a narcissistic abuse, and there's a lot that you have taken in and you need to release something. Then by all means do that through breath work. You breathe in 1, you breathe out 10. So 3 seconds in, 6 seconds out, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out. As long as the out breath is 2 times the in breath, you're releasing negativity and you're getting rid of this overthinking energy. It's grounding you, it's healing, right? And if you're already in a balanced state of consciousness, you can do one-on-one, right? You can do 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. That's when you're already stabilized. But if you feel like there's a lot inside that needs to just get out, right? Then by all means, breathe it out. 1 in, 2 out, and that's how you get rid of negativity, get rid of traumatization, right? That's in the past energy. And if you're attached to the past energy, Swords energy, you're kind of expecting the same and you're kind of creating the same. That's why it's so important that you break this line, right? That you kind of snap out of your head and come back to your heart space, not negating the head space, right? But, bringing together the swords, the head and the heart. That's very important. And I see you doing this with the Two of Swords here. Breath work to release negative energy. And then meditation just to develop a peace of mind. 3 of Cups, right? That's a joyful offer. That's happiness. That's, right? That's a good offer from the universe that is coming in here. Do not ignore it. Be grateful for it and take it. Yeah, you're kind of in your head worrying too much. That's the clarifier for the 4 of Swords, clarified by the 8 of Swords. What do we get in the foundation? Even maybe there was some betrayal here with the 5 of Swords and the Lovers in the foundation. Maybe someone betrayed you in love, in romance, in relationship, right? That has an effect on you, but it's over and you have to let it go. You have to totally let it go and take this beautiful offer. Knight of Swords, yeah. don't allow anybody to steal your passion, for life. There's the Ace of Swords with the the Ace of Wands with the Seven of Swords. You're in a balancing. Yeah, there's the Chariot with the the Chariot with the Temperance card. You're restoring balance. That's beautiful. Tree of Pentacles. Tree of Pentacles with the Seven of Swords. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. So you have a good place, whether it's in yourself or actually good apartment, good place to go, to rest, to come back to yourself. You lay the foundation for something better than what you already have. It's not business as usual, right? You planted your seeds that are totally connected to this cup that is offered to you, much more in alignment with your heart space. Follow that, give that loving attention, and come out of this one-sidedness where you just hear and try to figure everything out with your mind. The magic is happening if you just look around, count your blessings, and realize, okay, there's something that is super important to me that really makes sense in a heart space, not just in a mind space, and there's no contradiction here. It can make sense in your mind, in your intellect, but it should definitively make sense here in your heart space. And if your heart space is broken, if your heart space is hurt, then it's harder to focus on that and give that loving energy. How do you do this? How do you overcome this broken heart? Right? This retreat into the intellect. How do you overcome this? Breath work, releasing negative energy, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out. And then, just heal yourself. Breathwork, meditation, be yourself a friend, and forget labels, just be yourself. You beautiful freak. That's what I wrote down. Forget labels, just be yourself. And what you think you create, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you become. So thinking creates your life, feeling attracts what comes in, right? And if you're feeling hurt, if you're feeling betrayed, you're kind of attracting that same frequency, and you're breaking that cycle through meditation, to breath work, and to gratefulness. That's very important as well. And then you give loving attention to that new thing that is there, right? That your heart is connected to, and you're going within. You've already laid the foundation. There's some sort of celebration here. You did the first step into a new chapter where you're much more focused on what is important for you in an emotional sense, right? And you took the initial step, even if you doubted yourself, even if you worried a lot, you took the first step nonetheless, and that's the reason to celebrate. And by taking the first step, you laid the foundation with the Seven of Pentacles. There is a prospect for wealth, abundance, and prosperity here. But you're going forward. You're nurturing that new path, that new way of being, way of creating that is much more. That's not just practicality, but you're passionate about this. You love it. You do it. It's important for you, right? The most common form of despair is not being who you are. And I feel like it's safe again to be who you truly are, which is a beautiful energy. And again, whenever you are feeling like, whenever you're not feeling like it, right? Whenever you're overthinking, whenever you're mistrusting, and whenever your doubts are kind of overwhelming, right? You're doing breath work. You're releasing negativity, 5 seconds in, 10 seconds out. Whatever feels comfortable, you need to make sure that the timing is right for you. As long as the out breath is 2 times the in breath, you're doing it, you're releasing energy. Lapis excelsis, actually. That's a lot of possibilities, and a positive transformation is taking place within you through a union of complementary opposites. And what is the union of complementary opposites? The union here is that with your head, that's the one side, and then your broken heart. And you can't heal your broken heart with your head alone. You shouldn't negate one side of it. You know, it's not just the head or the heart. You know, that false idea that you have to choose between the head and the heart, that's totally wrong. You need both, and you need to make peace with both of these aspects, right? A positive transformation is taking place within you through a union of complementary opposites, and that's that brain, the intellect, and the heart space, your emotions. Everything in life has its counterpart, and both can only exist together. In essence, like 2 sides of a coin, they are one. As you start to see and embrace both sides, you will find that an obstacle you have struggled with for a very long time is not insurmountable. It is a mountain of opportunity with golden rivers flowing through it. A perspective change, a perception change, as perception changes, reality changes, and we can see the flowing tides of creative energy that is life. Beautiful ideas flow through the universe in pathways of light, waiting for the perfect moment to be born. And the perfect moment to be born is right now, right? So you are beginning to create not just from your intellect, but from your intellect and fueled by your heart space, your emotions. There's passion with the Ace of Wands here as well. Passion, emotion, loving kindness, and then if you combine that with your intellect, you're really going. And it's not just a reason to celebrate, it's a reason to celebrate because you are overcoming the separation of the head and the heart, and you're planting your seeds, you're taking this cup. And this is also talking about rediscovering joy. And let's not forget what we got here at the bottom of the deck, right? There's the Justice card, and there's the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups is fortune after difficulty. And in this case, justice after difficulty. So you have been through a lot, obviously, in the last 9 years. And you were kind of stuck in your head, and now you're coming back. And your heart is opening, and you're following this new thing, whatever it is for you. If you want to share it, leave a comment. Let me know what it is for you. Sandpiper spirit, and then that's such a beautiful energy, playful energy. I'm going to show you this. And I'm going to read this. I'm not sure if I'm going to read all of it because these texts are actually pretty long. Yeah, but that's a short one, Sandpiper Spirit. And it's just such a playful, beautiful energy. And playfulness is maybe the key here. Not taking it all so damn serious, but be a little playful, joyful, and just go with the flow, trust it. And if it's important for you, you don't need recognition, you don't need applause from the outside world. If it is important for you, if it makes sense to you, make it a part of your life. You're not doing this for recognition. You're not doing this for, other people, saying, oh, that's great, you did well, something like that. You're doing this for yourself to bring joy and happiness and meaning into your life. There is so much source energy. Use your mind wisely, but the core of it should be, all that intellectual, practical approach, source energy, pentacles energy should be informed and inspired by love, right? Philautia, self-love, self-respect, love for others, compassion, and just a warm glow of energy that is kind of bringing everything back to life, right? That's what I'm hearing. You're coming back to life, and it's safe to open your heart again. You're not naive. You're not, you learned something in the last 9 years, 10 years maybe. Don't be naive, right? Trust is earned. You know how the world is. There are shady, toxic people out there. But not to kill your heart as a result, but to learn how to protect yourself and still let your heart shine and inform everything that you're doing. True freaking love, right? True self-love, to love for others, to love for life. And be a little more playful. Cups energy, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups. Bring back joy and happiness and playfulness and that sandpiper spirit. Sandpipers are like cute little clowns poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of sandpiper spirit is a sign that now is a time to engage your playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with a lightness of being. Explore the familiar, discovering the new in the old. Explore the familiar, discovering the new in the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun. Sandpiper Spirit's happy and curious nature can help you to feel rejuvenated as you remember your ability to run and fly and dance playfully. And to do that, to have some fun, to, shrug off whatever that was about. That's in the past energy. And that was a big impact, right? And you see the aftermath in this with the 8 of Swords, with the 7 of Swords. Even the 10 of Swords is here. You're ending this overemphasis on worrying and strategizing. You're healing yourself. 2 of Swords is very much healing energy. It's overdue, and let's just show you that again, right? Justice, right? With the 10 of Cups. So you got a beautiful space, a happy home, fortune after difficulty. Justice is coming in. You took the cup and you're going and you're holding that cup and you're protecting that cup. Be smart about it. But don't ignore the cup. Keep the cup. The cup is the most important thing, right? There's even in Christian mythology, there's this idea of the Grail, right? And you can understand the Grail as some sort of totem of power, right? And all the knights were looking for the Holy Grail to rule the world or whatever. But according to what I understand here as a humble little tarot card reader, I think the Holy Grail is pretty much the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is love, primarily for yourself. That's how you start. You can only love other people and give love to other people if you love yourself. If you love yourself down here, on a level down here, you can't give love or receive love on a level up here. So you have to love yourself, because the intensity or the level of self-love that you have for yourself, right, is the level on which you can give and receive love from other people. That's very, very important, and that's the Holy Grail. That's the Ace of Cups, right? And you're taking that, right? You're taking it back into your life, you're reintegrating that, and you're making it, it doesn't need to be grandiose, but it's just informing your life, and there's joy and happiness back into your life. That's a fantastic reading, right? And if it resonates with you, share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. Check out the yearly reading. I'm going to link this somewhere around here, and hopefully see you next time. Now, goodbye, my friend. Ciao.